What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big. I'm here. Yeah, it's your boy at Big Game James underscore 36 is Big Games BS. Part of Den Media Group. You threw me off when you changing those screens. But I got a big screen in front of me now, guys. So every day we get a little bit more of a production. So we're getting better. Miles getting some good quality reps with the quality production. So I have a screen that shows me kind of what's going on, so I can know what to talk about. But it kind of throws me off. We're still not great with the start time and like what we need to do in between, but I don't think that's ever going to change. I was watching some stuff from this time last year, and me and Denny were worse. So like now we at least have like a little intro that kind of lets you know an intro and an outro. But anyways, it's Big Games BS brought to you by Den Media Group, presented by thehumidor.com. Thehumidor.com is the go-to website for all things cigar related. Your cutters, your torches, your humidor packs, humidors, or just again outright cigars. They have the best priced, high quality cigars you can get. I got one of my friends, Reggie, who I'm proud of, but like not like how you think. Like it's showing discipline because like my guy is a trucker, but my guy Reggie is the guy I've talked about in the past who has literally educated me on everything weed. But right now he can't do that no more because he got to be sure he's safe and everything is doing stuff. So he's been asking me to get him into the tobacco world, the cigar world. He's getting some acids, he's getting some stuff like that. Because you don't want to smoke what I smoke, not out the gate. You'll hate it. It's real strong. So get your flavored cigars. They got plenty of those Drew Estate acids, Cuba Cubas, things like that you can go get at a really, really good price. And check this: if you type in Sports Den at checkout, all one word, you get 20% off. If you spend over $150, you get free shipping. Best rates, best price in the nation. So if you spend $150 a month, you get free shipping. You only have to pay the taxes. So if you're from the state of Florida, you get 13% in savings because I can't protect you with the taxes. That's on Uncle Sam. ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Go get your spirit on, get your lit. Always be celebrating. ABC, always be celebrating. This past Labor Day, you should have been celebrating with anybody. All kinds of holidays, football season. If you're not going to ABC to get your tailgate jumping, you're missing out. Inside the greatest cigar lounge in America, Goodfellas. I miss Goodfellas, man. I haven't been here enough lately outside of recording. I'm coming this weekend. I ain't got no football games to cover on Saturday. I'm chilling out. We're gonna do our damn thing and make it happen, Captain. So college football weekend officially started. We had week 0 where Florida State played Duquesne and we had some other guys. Now we come into week 1. And before, I'm not gonna get too deep into some of the football stuff. I have a YouTube already, and a SoundCloud. So if you follow Sports Den on Spotify, on Google Play, on Apple Podcasts, you can go check that out, or it's a YouTube video on it already. But we'll get into some of the things for the people who haven't heard it. But before I get into that, we always throw a tailgate. We've been doing this since Taggart's first game of Virginia Tech. Spring games, the family reunion tailgate is really cheap. Want everybody to just come out and have a good time. During the season, we have to pay for parking and some other expenses, so it gets a little bit more. But this is also how I do my benefits for my book bag drives, my Thanksgiving giveaways, my teacher appreciation stuff, my Christmas gifts. We do gifts for good grades. Basically, the tailgate is a better way for me to market, help you have a good time, get you drunk and full before you go to the game, but also be able to help give the community. I want to always tell people that any shirt you buy from Shop Big Game, anything, this is not how I make my money. I apologize if it doesn't always come out the best of your ability, and customer service is key. I believe in that, but give me some grace. It's for the goddamn kids, my people. And just always remember that. But it was probably the best tailgate I've thrown. I'm not even gonna cap to you. Um, it it was there's plenty of stuff on social media about that, but I want to read what we had a couple people who were very upset for no reason. Like, granted, New Orleans is not a city known for tailgates. That's the first thing that everybody who was there told me. It's a city not known for tailgates. I was trying my best to give everybody the location. All I was told was Poydras and Bertrand. So I gave y'all the same information that was given to me, Poydras and Bertrand. And, I think 10 people couldn't find it and were really, really upset. We had over 260 people show up for me on top of the LSU tailgate. So you people who said, I'm calling you motherfuckers out. Because one person went on Twitter and like the first thing didn't even hit me up didn't even hit me up to say, hey man, I ain't hit me up and said there was no food. We were out of liquor. It was a clusterfuck. It was all these different things. I'm like, bitch, what fucking tailgate was you at? Some called it a scam. And I'm like, but like everybody was vibing. My wife had to stand in the mud. Bitch, it's New Orleans. The whole city was underwater. If you saw my IG, Griselda was basically the only car that survived because it's a truck. Like it literally had poured down rain. It was mud everywhere. A lot of Gucci shoes. My boy Leroy Smith wore his Gucci shoes. B-Mac wore his shoes. I had $500 shoes. It was a bunch of, but again, I'm gonna talk about the these complaints, but then I'm gonna go talk about how the good stuff is. And my problem is I probably feed into the negativity too much, but I want to give these people the attention that they deserve. Because you gotta be lame. Actually, before I read it to Miles, play the you try to look for Griselda. Oh, go keep scrolling out, and you'll see the a little more. Keep going because there's a lot of the stuff that happened this weekend. Right there, you see the bottom left, right there, right. Yeah, it was like we're gonna put this on. I want people to really understand and to fully appreciate what the weather was like. This was the first day I came in. Now, when I hit the ground in New Orleans at 8 a.m. Central Time, I didn't go to sleep. I coached the night before. I literally went day in and day out to try to make sure that everybody else's New Orleans experience was the best. This is where I went with the Seminole Club of New Orleans. Shout out to Kate. Shout out to Anthony. My boy Kate. Nola is Kate, and Cracking Calamari is Anthony. They helped me with so much stuff. But that's what we dealt with. So this is what the city was like. So shout out to my homegirl Chaz. Chaz is back. Her back seat was flooded. Shout out to my boy Willow. Willow's car was flooded. And he had a rental, so I hope he didn't get hit with no fines for that. But like Griselda was sitting up there with the high booty, looking sexy right there in the picture. But like, it's kind of just what the city was, man. It's underwater, so like things are gonna like happen like that. And so I was looking at something that my man Chris put. But here's some of the other critiques that I got. I would like what's my man's name? Steve M. I would like a refund on my tickets. The tailgate wasn't as advertised. Very disorganized. We were told top shelf booze and all you can eat, but there wasn't anything to eat nor drink. There weren't any bathrooms around, so people were using wood pallets to pee. We didn't even stay after seeing the mess. Please refund the card $80. I did. Play what the white kid said. This was after the tailgate. So anything that people say that they don't have food, like that is one thing we're going to have. I'm fucking sponsored by a liquor company. We will have top shelf liquor all the time. It's that one right there. It's crazy. Like this is the end of the tailgate. So what you're going to see, the video is, just to show people like, we had so much food left over that I gave away food to the homeless. I want you to hear. I
never been to a black cookout, but this shit is like life changing, bro.
He might find a black woman. I think I converted.
Yeah.
Tell him that in the camera.
Oh shit. I never been to a black cookout, but this shit is like life changing, bro. I'm telling you.
Look at that. Look at that tray. It's trays of food there.
Preach your word, my man.
So
preach.
Life changing, bro.
4760 at yahoo.com. You're a fucking liar. I just want the world to know that you're a fucking liar. I purchased 4 tickets for this tailgate party and was unable to find the location with the information provided. Workers at the stadium had no idea and tried to help with no success. We spent a good 45 minutes trying to find this. Please send the money back since the information provided was not sufficient. We had 260 people find it, and nobody was from there. You can literally, I don't know if you can see it in this video, I can throw a rock and hit the stadium. It was free parking over there too. Everybody who came to the tailgate got free parking. Yes, I'm roasting all of y'all asses because you're fucking liars. You're a fucking liar. Over $40 that goes to events to help kids. I have no problem sending you your money back. Please refund our tickets. Ross Hobby actually liked something on Twitter. So I know you saw this shit. Matter of fact, I'm going to go find your ass. Please refund our tickets for this event. There is neither food or drinks as you advertised. Hold up. No, I'm going to give y'all all the attention that y'all want. Because I just saw Ross Hobby just like something. And I knew I recognized the name. Because I just want y'all to know. Ain't none of y'all invited to another fucking tailgate. Please don't come to my shit. Don't like my shit. Don't do nothing. Like, it's a difference between just, because what happens is this. One person put it out there and said, I didn't at you. Somebody saw it and showed it to me. What happens is when you do stuff like this, you besmirch someone's name. And unlike other people, that's all I got. My name is what I have. So when you do that shit, I don't give a fuck about the money. The tailgate was paid for. The opportunity was paid for. But yo, you're not finna just come out here and try to roast me with lies. Like, tell me if you want to say it was mud, got you, no doubt. It's not a wine and cheese, not a wine and cheese tailgate. We're gonna get down, we're gonna get dirty. You're gonna have the best time of your life though. Cussing, too much cussing in the music? Yep. Too much cussing. You got me. Bro, we got moonshine, all kind, the top of cognac that everybody likes. We had scotch, we had 3 types of tequilas, we had Tito's vodka, which I don't drink, which everybody else seems to like. Plenty of stuff, man.
Lauren Steve said he had a full bottle when it was over. There's people here co-signing for you in the chat. They got to be trolling, saying they got what they got when they were there.
I mean, to me, it's like, you know, I actually even asked, I was like, did somebody put y'all up to this shit? Because it had to be, because like, just, oh wait, okay. We did not, there actually were porta potties, right? There were porta potties. You just had to go walk a little bit. The LSU girls knew, because actually my homegirl KP found out, right? And you know, it's just wild that y'all said this. And I put this in the seminar group because I want these people to know who y'all are. like it's again, you can say you did not like the food. I can't argue that. Now, if you want to say that it wasn't, maybe it wasn't, you don't like going to buffets and stuff where people touch, you know, have touched and run through the food. One person said they showed up at 4:30 and they were upset. Why the fuck would you show up to an event 2.5 hours late and then expect something? But there was plenty of food even then. The video that we just showed was literally, we were breaking down food. Like I was mad because I ordered too much when we went to New Orleans. And shout out to DJ Platinum, who was the DJ. He had a video go viral. Shout out to them LSU frat boys. I don't know what frat that was, but they did their damn thing. Made it very fun, very hospitable, very well mannered young men. And the women that was over there. Shout out to 10th Ward Buck. 10th Ward Buck. And you got to go follow these guys. This is their names at 10th 10th Ward WARD BUCK. Go follow him on Twitter, please. And then at DJ Platinum 504. Follow him on Twitter. On IG. That's where they're more prominent at. Those guys held it down, helped me out with so much stuff. And I'm going to say this too. What you guys don't realize what happened is there was some major miscommunications. So I was supposed to have tents. I was supposed to have 4 tents. You just didn't mean to turn that off. Oh, no. I was supposed to have 4 tents. I was supposed to have 4 tables. I was supposed to have 3 coolers. And I had to draw my camera guy, and we're gonna release all the videos over the next course couple of days, because we're gonna do this again for Boston College. My guys forgot it. The guys who were supposed to come forgot it. My car was full of liquor and food to bring over. And you know, it didn't happen. So I had to like maneuver and make stuff happen on the fly. So I had a friend that said, like, yo, this was so smooth and well run. And I'm like, shit, you have no idea. And for so many people to have a good time, for a few people to like give me those knocks and the critiques, and some of that stuff I just got to take on. I just take the L. I have no problem with taking the L. But you just lame as fuck, and I don't want you anywhere around me. I promise the guy I'll be okay. You'll be okay too, obviously, because you tried to roast me. But I just don't want you in my vicinity. You know, former players, Brian McFadden, Leroy Smith, my boy Paul Lyons, who was in my wedding. That's how close he is to me. Casey was there. Dontrell Meeks was there. You know, guys, again, some guys that y'all might not know, but it was like, it was just, I just love it, man. The energy that everybody was giving was so dope, man. It was and we was under an overpass, so even when it did rain, everybody could stay dry. It just looked like if it was like going back to college, man. It was like going back to college. That's what the whole tailgate experience should be for us as adults now. I can afford fancy wines and cheeses, but I love the grimy, gritty shit. And LSD, put that down there. I'm gonna tell y'all this right here. I got the baddest talent that comes to the tailgate. So, like, if nothing else, you paying shit. Doc, man, Doc brought mine. When I tell you, my homegirl Doc, and when we call her Doc Aaron, she is a fucking doctor. She's also one of my dog Cromartie's baby mamas, but you know she got AJ. But Doc brought 10 bad ones with her. Like, so if you were a single man and you had any kind of game, and you know what they was in. Open toe sandals and shit, white toes out in the mud. No porta potties, not caring. And them the prissiest black women I know. My homegirl Nikki was there. KP was there. It was some chick doing a Bring It On skit was there. It was crazy, man. Like, but we had the homeless dude came over there. He was like, "Hey, man." Okay, I had to stop him. I said, "Hey, bro, you with me, dog?" So that might, you know what? I think that might have been what scared the guys away because they thought nobody was monitoring. Because it was like 3 or 4 homeless people that came up, asked if they could get a plate, asked if they can get some. I said, "Man, go ahead, man. Go get you some food, bro." So go get you some food, bro. Now I had to tell the homeless dude this, man, because the homeless dude thought he wasn't gonna get invited. This man took a red Solo cup and tried to pour all the Crown Royal to the top. I said, "Hey, listen. Bro, you could come back. Hang out. You with me. You on me, baby. Don't even worry about it, man." And like, so he was just, you know, again, like I said, New Orleans don't owe me nothing, man. On Friday night, not Friday night. I keep getting confused about Friday nights. But on Saturdays, we had shit. It's not Saturday. It's Saturday. Saturday, I got linked up with my boy Grinch, Anthony, and I told everybody this because a lot of people pop a lot of shit. I knew some of them was in New Orleans. We were on Bourbon Street, which is a lawless street. If anybody has any problems that they just don't want, all that stuff you talk, I am here. Let's have a conversation. And you know what? Not one person had a conversation with me. I am so disappointed in how tough you people are on the internet. You had all the opportunity. You could have dropped me. You could have told me I ain't shit to my face, and you did. Because at the end of the day, you know how that's going to end in the real world. We would have had because Griselda was in town. So if Griselda's in town, I got all my sponsors on deck. We got AVC, the Humidor, Green Acres, everything is there. Nobody wants to get shot with a crossbow, apparently. So, but anyways, man, the tailgate merged into something that was really, really dope, an exciting football game. The thing that I kept talking about the entire time was all I want to do is watch a good football game. I think we're going to win. I've always said it was going to be close, but I'm like, hey, just a exciting game. Can you find the one one dude, Pate, we talked about on Friday? He was just asinine. Not that one. It's a guy who was breaking down. That was more tailgate footage. Oh, that guy. Go back. So play this right. Yeah, play this for me. But this was the problem that I had with people who were just going off the top about what the game was going to be like. The narrative that irks me more than anything is when people judge Florida State based upon the current
that offensive line to the super
and not the past, but they judge every one of our opponents based upon the past and not their current. So play this preview of what this guy says. This is what he said the FSU game was going to be like. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, who working on it? But bam, yeah, you see it.
Florida State. If they show up with that offensive line to the Superdome, good luck. If you watch that game, no athleticism. I mean, I saw a bunch of just kind of pudgy, overweight, unathletic, club feet
What?
offensive linemen that can't move.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm not just making this stuff up. It was very underwhelming, and that's kind of being polite. I know that Florida State understands that it's not Duquesne getting off the bus on Sunday night, but I don't think they have any idea what they got coming their way. I mean, my first reaction was, ha! I mean, like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. I mean, you got Ali Gay standing over you. You got BJ Ojolari breathing down your neck. You got Jaquelin Roy and Mason Smith coming at you in the first game of the year, 100% healthy, revved up in the dome on the carpet, because it's going to be a long night for Florida State's offensive line. They're in trouble. They're in big trouble, because not only is LSU coming at you with those first four, but I mean the waves of depth you got no idea about. You got no idea who Desmond Little is.
I know we can stop, man, because I mean he's selling out real hard. And you know, shout out to my guy Carter Power. Go follow him. We had a great discussion on last Wednesday, last Thursday, just previewing the game, and he talked about depth. I mean, fuck humble. It's a lot of things at the end of the year that I'm really just saying fuck a lot of. Like I'm fucking the media now, and fuck being humble sometimes. You know, what does it say? You know, I try like to quote my favorite rapper. Now, hear me in context. These are rap lyrics, and again, this word I'm going to use is not only a food, it's also the name of a company in which sells about $5 billion a year and things. But I don't mean to boast, but damn if I don't brag, the crackers gonna act like I ain't on their ass. Sean Corey Carter. But this dude right here did all of this selling out, and we was on that ass. And to be honest with you, the game shouldn't have been as close as it was. I'm gonna go right into it. Fuck it. I did a good, the bad, and the ugly, and the more I've marinated on it, Mike, you know I love you. I love you, White Mike. Miguel Blanco, you my guy. But God damn it, you got to become a better bully. You got to become a better bully. We let them boys off. We let them off the hook, boy. Made that game way closer than what it should have been. Now, some of the things he doesn't have. I'm not mad at you for going for it on fourth down and heading into the second half. We probably should have took the 3 points, but I like the corner route. I don't like the corner route to 5'10" wide receiver. Throw the corner route to the 6'7" guy. That's why we brought him here. Or Deuce Spann, who's the 6'5" guy. Not mad at it. Just saying, let's do that. Let's go ahead and get them points on. Get those points up. Not mad at you running the pitch per se, but let's not get cute when we're down on the goal line. It's second down. I believe it was second down, or even if it was third, we got two. No, it was second down. We got 2 plays to be able to get to run time off the clock and then kick a field goal. And now the game is a 10-point game. It's impossible for them to come back on it. Or do what you did earlier. Give the ball to the goddamn fullback. Shout out to my guy DJ Lundy. Finally did that shit. Mike Norvell is the fullback coach too, by the way, and he's over special teams. A lot of those are some of the things, some of the situational shit we'll work on. But I also tell people Mike Norvell is a young coach. He only coached 4 years at Memphis. This is year 7 for him. He's the starter year 7, so he's only got 6 years of true experience under his belt in being in those head coaching situations. Now he's the offensive coordinator, so that makes it a little bit more tough. Now, the other side of this, I want people to get off of Fuller, man. Coach Fuller is not a bad coach, man. Like I tell everybody day in and day out, the best beat reporter in Florida State is James Anthony Coleman III. Trey would not talk to Mike Norvell, but he loves himself some Adam Fuller. Now, what I tell y'all is this. Trey did something this year that every fan in Florida State fan base recognized. There is something that my son does not do. He does not smile a lot. He smiles for food, money, and girls sometimes. But for the most part, every picture Trey takes, stoic. Trey took a picture with Mike Norvell this year, and you know what he did? That boy had a Kool-Aid smile. And people were like, holy shit, this might be the year. The first time Trey took a picture with Mike, people were like, my dad talks about the standard. He got me with this taking pictures with this sorry-ass coaches, which I thought was funny. But you know. But Trey, Trey was doing that, and shout out to my son, my brothers over here telling me that Trey was selling out when we was whooping LSU's ass, singing song, making up songs and shit, dancing in the living room. He was mad as hell that he couldn't come to the game, but the tailgates are an adult experience that I don't want. To be honest with you, let me tell you, the tailgate was supposed to be at a strip club originally, guys. So I changed it up to make it more family appropriate. I mean, it was at Club Spade. Go look up Club Spade in New Orleans, which again was right down the street from where I was at. And yeah, I mean, yeah. So I made it cheaper. It was dope. But anyways, love it, man. But the game was dope. The energy was straight. Can you pull up? I apparently made it all over TV. I was not trying to be, but I was in the end zone where they missed the goal, where they missed the field goal. You can see me. That's the tailgate right there. That one right there. You see me, and I can't believe this shit is happening in my face right now. But there's a saying, as Miles is pulling this up, in football, and it's normally true. The saying is ball don't lie. So before this play, Florida State's defense did a terrible job of really stopping the little shit. The touchdown before, I think LSU got 45 yards worth of penalties. But they were tackled inbounds on the 1 yard line with 1 second left to go. When you're tackled inbounds, once the ball is set, the clock is supposed to immediately start. The referees, for some reason, thought it kind of fucked it up, but we got enough time to run one play. They should not have had time to run that one play. They ran the one play and they scored. But then the football guys corrected the mistakes of common men and with this play right here. And this is my reaction to the crowd and all that other stuff. And I'm just like, holy shit, I can't believe this happened. They blocked the field goal. Everybody was wilding out, cheering. You can't see it on this one right here. And I'm like, holy shit. They just missed I can't believe that shit just happened. Yeah, I was like, I can't believe this happened, man. This is wild. And then the crowd went wild. Shout out to the Marching Chiefs. I was sitting right next to them. They played just like we practiced. And then now, that's the FSU game. But if you want more analysis on that, go check out my breakdown on Den Media Groups, all the different platforms we have. I did 20-minute breakdown. So going into the other week's game, the University of Florida played a really, really tough opponent in Utah in a great game. And the FSU game was very similar. In fact, FSU was almost on the same trajectory as what Utah was. And this is no hate right here, but I'm gonna say this. The reason why Utah lost is because Utah pulled up, but Utah was whipping up on Florida. That, and then Florida has a really tremendous player. I've been high on this kid since I got a chance to meet him when he was training with Denny Thompson. That's Anthony Richardson.
We're not gonna get another interview, are we? He's getting too big.
Yeah, Ant might get too. I'm gonna try it out, or we just gonna keep running that shit back. That was a really good fucking interview, man. But AR-15 is just a great kid. All around good kid. His coach said, dope guy. And that's when I got a chance to meet him, got a chance to link him up with Denny Thompson. And then Denny's kind of grown into be Denny's like second son since he goes to the University of Florida. But I told guys, I remember when Florida fans were saying they thought for whatever reason they thought they were getting Carson back. Because Carson decommitted from Alabama. And then that's when Anthony decommitted from Florida. And people were like, oh, well, we getting out of the projects, we moving to this. It was very, very, very terrible.
Wow.
And it wasn't the white people that said that. It was one of their notable Florida tweeter, Auntie Lennon, was said he was doing that. And I was just like, man, this is not. I was like, man, can we get this kid tagged? Yo, y'all need to go holler at this kid because this kid is good. This kid is fucking good. He's fast. He's got a powerful arm. Did he describe his three quarterbacks? All three went to the Elite 11. It was Jeff Sims, Carson Beck, Anthony Richardson. Said Jeff is good. Carson's going to probably win a Heisman. Ant has the most tools out of all of the kids that he's training. And if he ever puts them together, he's going to be dangerous. And holy shit, is this motherfucker able to do some shit that's just going to get him drafted, regardless of what Florida does. I I think Florida's an 8-4 team, 9-3 team. But oh man, that wasn't my fault. That was Tag. Tag did not recruit Anthony Richardson, by the way. My homegirl Nina literally brought him to the camp. We didn't recruit him. To our defense, his junior year. All right, so if anybody's watched Family Matters, right? This is Anthony Richardson. And we did this on our show last year. Yeah. You have Steve Urkel, and then you have Stephon Urkel. Anthony Richardson now transformed from his junior year to his senior year. He transformed into Stephon Urkel. The boy had he had some real bad pimple issues. He had some big ass bifocals. He was scrawny. He was that's a good one right there of him. Like he just he's got a nose. His nose was big. It just wasn't anything like that. It's kind of like me, just so people don't know that I'm not just picking on the kid. Like I got a big head. I had big ears too. Like so I had to grow into my ears and my head. Like it was real bad when I was young and I was lanky. So Ant had to grow into his nose and shit. So like you see him right there. Ant has grown into that motherfucker and is a beast. That motherfucker's bad. And if you go show the highlight, I'm not gonna get into it too much. Don't really care what happened and how Utah threw an interception on second down when they didn't have to in the game. They could have won the fucking game. But like Ant, I don't even know how you do this. I don't think he can replicate that. But like he does for the people who are listening at home. He's in in pistol formation. You're gonna put it on. He's basically in the pistol. He's on the goal line, inside the 5. And my guy is Utah has a good rush. And this happened to Florida State numerous times. It's just frustrating when you have a quarterback and you let him off the hook.
Anderson
so
goes in motion.
Fake the reverse, and then like going on his back foot, pump fakes that bitch, palms it, and then like my man does a pure away from Utah, and then he drops, and he runs the guys wide open.
Anderson goes in
Any
motion.
other kid that's sacked. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he got out of there.
A ball fake.
He also had another play
Anderson
where
goes
he
in
was able
motion.
to spin out, skate up the sideline, and
What a play by
just use his
Richardson.
speed.
A
He's
ball
probably
fake.
legit 4-4.
Anderson goes in
and
motion.
He's got a cannon arm. Now he's gonna have times where he's
What
gonna
a play by
it's not
Richardson.
gonna work like
A
that.
ball fake.
But it worked this game,
Anderson
and
goes in
Anthony
motion.
is a really, really good athlete.
What a play by Richardson.
He's a really,
A
really
ball
good
fake.
kid. I want to
Anderson
hate
goes
him.
in
I
motion.
want to think he's weird. Like I like Tim Tebow, the football
What a
player.
play by
The saving
Richardson.
grace for me
A
as a
ball
Noah
fake.
was Tim Tebow was weird as Halloween
Anderson goes in motion.
on a Friday with a full moon.
What
And
a
it's
play
not even
by
weird. He's
Richardson.
just
A
a
ball
damn.
fake.
He's just like shit.
Anderson goes in motion.
His biggest problem is that he speeds. And
What
so
a
do
play
I.
by Richardson.
So
A
like,
ball
God
fake.
bless. Good, look good.
Anderson goes in motion.
The Miami Sugar Canes feel like they're back
What a
again
play
this year
by Richardson.
because they
A
beat up
ball
on the
fake.
Sisters of the Poor. Bethune
Anderson
Cookman.
goes in motion.
That being said, I want to go over the stats, the numbers, if you will. Bethune Cookman on their first drive drove all the way down the field on the Miami Hurricanes. And I want to say Bethune Cookman put up a grand total of 365 yards of total offense. Bethune Cookman is a team, I believe, won one football game in FCS last year. So they're not very good. This should not happen to a team who is currently ranked the number 15th team in the nation. And again, it was never close or in doubt. It just wasn't a good showing for the Miami Hurricanes that week. But let's say it was the score was 70-13. It was, like I said, it was never in doubt. BCU just put up a ton of points. Jalen Jones, also Denny Thompson, trained quarterback, was 11 for 20, 243 yards passing. That's a pretty good performance for that guy. And let's see, what did Miami do? Miami obviously had to put up a good amount of yards. Miami had almost 600 yards of total offense. You know, Miami talked about what we did against Duquesne. They had one guy, Parrish. He ran up for over 108 yards. Nobody else ran for over 100 yards. So obviously, as I said last week, it's very difficult to have three guys run over 100 yards, especially with your top guy being 120. But that was what happened with Miami. Overall, not a bad game. Warm-up game, tune-up game, nothing to prove. Miami has another tune-up game against Southern Miss. So they have a cake-ass schedule. But some games that kind of shocked everybody. You got Syracuse beating the shit out of Louisville, who Louisville is considered one of the top teams in the ACC. But obviously that's not working. App State almost beat North Carolina. Should have beat North Carolina. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. NC State should have lost to East Carolina. For some reason, Virginia Tech keeps scheduling Old Dominion and they keep losing. So they lost 20-17. Now going into this game that pains me to talk about, because I am a big fan, and you can go find this clip of them talking trash, but it's JSU Miles. FAMU played the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Not Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, excuse me. They played the Jackson State Tigers, I believe. But this is how the game started. This is their pregame. And the guy saying this is how they knew FAMU was in trouble. And in trouble they were. Because they got beat to sleep. To the tune of 59-3. So it wasn't very close. And it hurts because I know a lot of the FAMU coaches and I'm close with some of the players over there. But you got the sound?
It's been a long motherfucking time. So we put that shit on a nigga we don't fucking know. Fuck them niggas, man. We finna do all them niggas. Hey, before we get in this shit, I want y'all to finish what I'm about to say. Because y'all already know I want y'all to finish what I'm about to say. It's cool when they do it. It's about when they do it. Fuck them. Hold on. Say that shit one more time. It's cool when they do it. It's about when they do it. Fuck them. Don't feel ready. They fuck together. They make us
It was ready, man. It was geek. And FAMU had a great time in Miami. Basically, they treated it like almost every college student, every college girl treats spring break in Miami. They went down there, got on the beach, took some flicks, got their ass whooped. Nothing else to say about it, man. Basically, it was never close. Actually, it was close in the first quarter. It's only 7-0. They went into halftime 24-3. Then they reset the PlayStation in the third quarter. They scored 21 points in the third quarter. They scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. FAMU didn't even pinch the bitch. They just sat there and just took it, got ran through. The quarterback who had such a great game against the University of North Carolina, not so great against Jackson State. Shedeur Sanders went 29 for 33, 323 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. This motherfucker looked like he was trying to compete for the Heisman. Like, FAMU, you might have just got Deion Sanders' son drafted, because they're going to beat the shit out of the rest of the schedule. I mean, it was so wild because they didn't even play the 5-stars. Well, no, Coleman Jr. did play. He had 4 catches, 41 yards. And then Travis Hunter played defense. So he didn't really play much offense. But here's the thing about FAMU and FAMU alumni and misplaced energies and intentions. And this is where I want to see Tavis Smiley. Why don't you go off now? You won't. There are issues that needed to handle. There were a ton of guys who weren't certified and weren't eligible. And that's a shame on the university, way more than a bitch showing a pretty ass at a snake. But those are issues that could have been handled without all the pomp and circumstance and a lot of the ESPNs of the world, the doing this. And Willie Simmons was all over TV, talking about this in the news. People were saying how ashamed they were of this, ashamed they were of this. And everybody was focusing on every fucking thing except for the goddamn game. That's not the same team that showed up against North Carolina. That was a team that wasn't prepared. There is no way. Like, I think Shedeur Sanders at one point was 14 for 14. Do you know how hard it's hard to do that on air, let alone against other breathing bodies? You got beat to sleep with talent. Arguably more talent than you had against North Carolina, because you got the best player in all FCS that came back up there. The consistent theme in all of it is the lack of accountability to what truly matters and what you can control. You can control if you make good grades. You can control if you go to class. Just like you can control the people who play, just like you can control making the plays and reading the playbook, knowing your assignments. How you do anything is how you do everything. But instead, it was a bunch of excuses fucking made. Stop making excuses. And the reason why I'm passionate about it is I fucking love the Hill. But kudos to Deion Sanders and what Deion Sanders is doing. And before people go out there and make complaints about what Deion is doing, get off your ass, drop a bag, or shut the fuck up. What Deion has over there is mirroring what Alabama has. Fam, you can do that. I've sent people who want to go over there to be analysts. Fam, you chooses not to do that. It doesn't cost much. A lot of people want to get their foot in the door. I got a friend, Grimes, right now, who will go and be an assistant, a grad assistant for just to be able to coach college and get his foot in the door. You got to want to do it. You got to stop singing songs, man. It's indicative of the black community in general. It's why you see me just do shit. It might not be right, but it gets shit, but it's effective. So stop all your singing. I'm so glad I'm from FAMU. Wearing your colors and just being out, and do that along with other shit that makes people really believe that you're glad that you went to FAMU. Because some of y'all, I can't tell. Hell, I give more to FAMU than you do, than most graduates. That's why you out here having fish fries to sell tickets to the Classic. Some of this shit ain't even complicated or complex. You just don't do shit, and you stuck again. And it was wild. What's wild about it is, I had one of their notable alums, and he's still in that mindset, but he dropped this bar. You're using typewriter technology in a smartphone world. That being said, the band is always on point. The band gonna do their damn thing. But y'all out here blaming everybody but the coach. Does that look like a coaching staff that was involved in it? In anything? There's no way you get beat 59-3 when you're one of the most prestigious, one of the most talented programs of all HBCUs. You went up there, had a chance to beat North Carolina for 3 fucking quarters, and then you went up there and got your ass handed to you. Like there was a mercy rule or something. That being said, it's just, man, I don't know. Sorry about that. Sorry for cussing. Don't know. Actually, that's funny. That was meant to be more funny than anything else. Because I'm going to fucking cuss, which is another reason why you shouldn't have your kids at my tailgate or listening to my show. But going into I don't even know what else we got on there, Miles. I forgot what all I said. I sent you a lot of shit. We already talked about so we go into Hate O'Clock. Hey, you can start off with that. Hate O'Clock brought to you by Green Acre Sporting Goods. Green Acre Sporting Goods, go-to outdoor spot. I love them. Z is my guy. They're not gonna let you go in there and just get nothing that you don't need. They're gonna make sure you got the proper bullets, proper gun. Even with women's safety, they're not gonna let you buy a gun that you can't cock. So they're gonna make sure they're gonna see you do everything. They've got a gun safety course that you can take on your lunch break. Get in and out. That guy is the most thorough person in the world. He's actually gonna make you wonder if you even want a fucking gun. Got all kind of sales. It's right now. It is it's still bow hunting season. They'll get you some bows and duck hunting and all that other stuff is coming around the corner. So check it out. They got all kinds of seasons. I get so much education about guns from Z and them. That's what I like to say. I don't even know if they definitely don't talk like that, but from the background that they from. But I love talking to them because they talk to me just like I'm a normal person. I love it, man. So go ahead and play this right here. This is a guy who my son can play. I love Kirby Smart. Kirby was a GA at Florida State when I was there. Kirby has just think about the men that Kirby's been influenced by: Bobby Bowden, Mickey Andrews, Nick Saban, and now he's got his national championship and he's in his GOAT bag. He's going to probably be one of the best coaches for the next few years. But people had a problem with what he said because he took Dan Lanning, Oregon-led team, who Dan Lanning was one of his defensive coordinators, and he beat the fuck out of him. But people had thought that this was a humble brag on his part, in my opinion. People hated it. But go ahead and play this. I want to hear it.
Up against the old friend and Dan Lanning.
Well, it wasn't about Dan Lanning. You know, I mean, it really wasn't. I saw him for the game. Got a lot of respect for him. We talked about talking after the game and telling each other tendencies or ideas we had to try to get better. We agreed not to share with other people because it only hurts both of us. And I got a lot of respect for Dan. You know, some of those players were out on that field. Dan Lanning recruited, and Dan Lanning did a tremendous job for the University of Georgia while he worked for the University of Georgia. And now he's working for Oregon. He's going to do a really good job at Oregon. He's relentless, and they'll bounce back from this. And he knows that we got better players, and he'll never say it, but he knows we got better players, and I respect how he works. Your last question on the back.
And people got mad at Kirby for that last statement, but show me the lie. I mean, geez, he does have better players. Kirby is the only person I've seen could go 40 personnel. And what I mean by that, it might have been 50. Shit, I don't even know if that's because you have your tailback, tight end, So basically 30. Like, he can go 50. But he bought against Alabama, he brought in nothing but tight ends. And based upon how you set up against him, if you brought in more DBs, he's going to run the ball down your throat because he's got tight ends that can block. If you bring in linebackers, they're going to spread out, go 4 wides with tight ends because all of the motherfuckers run 4.6 or better. So it's crazy because he can whoop your ass any way you want it. And very few teams can compete with that right now. You got to get it. You got to take a couple years, get it out the mud, or you got to be able to hope to get some of their bounce backs. Ohio State is one of the only schools right now in the country that can consistently do it. USC will eventually be able to do it because USC will always be the premier school on the West Coast. It's the cool school to go to. So they'll be able to do that. But I hate the mentality that people have that because you're good or you're great, you got to be humble. It is not Kirby Smart's job to worry about the self-esteem of Oregon players. That is Dan Lanning's job. Kirby Smith's job is to worry about the well-being of his own guys. And that's what he did. And he whipped some ass. But going back to the Florida State Florida game, here's what my true head clock is. And if you go to it's the Brian Kelly press conference. There is a lack of decor and professionalism in sports journalism in general. And it needs to be called out by people who are in it. And while funny, it's fucking petty.
The kitty.
And not called for when you are a professional. There are times when you have your press conferences. You show your ass up on time. And before you get into this is why I'm saying this. If I as a player or I as a coach or I've been on that side of it, or if I schedule an interview and you're not on time for it, or if I wasn't on time as a player, you're getting mad and you're trying to scold me. So you need to, they should have just locked the door and not let your ass in. If the press conference starts at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m., bitch, be there at 7:59. But just given the context, the reporter was late, and then Brian Kelly said and what the reporter said back to Brian Kelly.
That we'll open it up to this late arriving media crowd that must have enjoyed the weekend. That's usually $10 that we put in the kitty. We'll have a big bash at the end of the year at my place. I don't think it has anything to do with winning. I think it has to do with being on time.
So I think Brian Kelly was actually joking about rules of discipline that you have in the football world. And even in it, it wasn't like just saying maybe I was partying on Bourbon Street too much, which a lot of us were. And he's right. Your decorum and your professionalism has shit to do with him stinking it up on the football field.
Right.
Do your fucking job, especially when you guys feel obligated for people to have to fucking talk to you. Such a piece of shit response. And I didn't realize it was a woman. That sounded like a woman reporter.
Yeah, it did.
And that's the fucked up part. Because if he would have said something to your ass, it would have been, he's misogynist. Man, fuck you.
I was wondering why he was so tame because
Man,
coaches give it to reporters.
Man, fuck you, man. Like you guys always go in here and you hide behind this cloak of femininity when it's convenient, when you're in this world. That's why I respect the Mia O'Briens of the world more than I respect a lot of you motherfuckers. Mia understands she's in a men's business. She has to operate like that. It is now she doesn't have to take shit. She doesn't have to take bullshit sexual advances or like people talking about her abilities, but she at least respects the fucking rules of decorum. Be on time, because that's what you want people to respect your time, so respect their time. I hope they snatch your fucking credentials.
Very interested.
And I hate Brian Kelly by the way.
Trying to make a name for herself.
In the minute and if they revoke your press pass, you're gonna look at this. That's women claim to hate misogyny, but the misogynistic society is the reason why you get is why you get put first in shit like this, man. It's bullshit. If you're gonna do the job, do the job. I'm sure she's qualified. Not knocking her qualifications. Don't know who she was. Don't know what she writes. If she's in that room, she deserves to be in that room. But you deserve to follow the rules just like everybody else deserves to follow the rules. Be on fucking time. And not just you, because it's you because you had to voice it. If every other reporter was in that bitch late, motherfucker, fuck all y'all. But the person who felt the need that they had to say something, and it's what you throw a stone and then you hide your hand. You don't want the energy to come back that you put out. She might not have been the one who was late, but the fact that she's the one that commented is the fucked up part. Like, unless it's just a world where y'all are going, because the other thing too is that Brian Kelly is a weird bird too. So I couldn't read the joke. So like maybe it was because Brian Kelly is the guy who sounded like he's from New Orleans his whole life, but he's from Boston, Massachusetts, Catholic boy. But I just don't that part I don't really 100% understand. So I hate that. I just really have a disdain for some beat writers and the arrogance in which they have, that they feel like they're entitled to do something. And then they write about entitled athletes when you feel like you're entitled to be able to talk to people any way you want to. And oh shit, that was wild. But let's see what else we got. Miles, just wrapping it up, because there's a lot of stuff. I don't want to get caught up in too many of these things. So a guy who I know they wouldn't have said this to. Man, listen, dog. Mike Norvell, I know you're not listening, man. I know you're not listening to me on this. But if Odell is to retire, I got the perfect recruiter, D-line coach for us at Florida State. His name is Ed Orgeron. And if he doesn't do that, I'm with the person with the tweet. The tweet states that Ed Orgeron would be the perfect replacement for Lee Corso on College Game Day. Nobody knows what Lee Corso is talking about right now anyway, and nobody knows what Ed Orgeron is saying, but it's very entertaining. Like, just remember with COVID, this man said you got to stay safe and protect the Beverly. I think he was trying to say elderly, but for whatever reason, it sounded like Beverly. And I was like, yes, get your COVID shot to protect Beverly.
Yeah, the old lady named Beverly. Yeah.
Coach O won a national championship, left his old bitch, got him a new bitch, and went and lived his best fucking life. He is every man's dream. I want to party with Coach O. Can you imagine Coach O in College Town? Oh my God. Coach O is the man. But play this right here. Coach O looks amazing. Coach O is Coach O. Coach O is on TV like it's just you and me, like Kanye said. But listen to this man, what he said about the buyout at LSU.
I'm so grateful of my time for LSU. that was my opportunity. You know, coaches got a shelf. Some coaches got 50 years. Some coaches got 12. Mine was 6. Good. I got to tell you, we had a meeting. Said, Coach, things are not going well. No shit, Joe. Ray Charles can see that, brother. And they were good. And Scott Woodward is a friend of mine today. Really, really, a lot of respect for the way they handled me.
So what's next?
Well, I gotta tell you this though. Say, Coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're gonna give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
That's what I always say. When people say like coaches get fired, like, did they really lose? Like, you gonna pay me? Like, you gonna pay me $17.1 million to not do a damn thing? I can imagine being that bad at your job. Somebody thinking you're that bad at your job that they'll pay you to do nothing. Man, I'm gonna take that so quick. I don't understand why Tag did anything, man. Oh, like shit. I'm gonna sit on this $5 million a year and live on a beach. I'm gonna make fans so mad that I'm living my life. Like what Dan Mullen was doing, and Florida fans was Dan Mullen like went on a world tour. Like I'm gonna sit there and just be like, yep, I'm gonna do ignorant shit. Like buy platinum coated lemon pepper wings. Like just because I can't and say thank you, boosters. like just shit like that. But Coach O, I would love to have Coach O come in and coach my guys up, man. There's so many other wild things going on in the world. Coach O is a guy who I believe can take serious matters like football and still make it a game, make it lovable, make it laughable. A lot of things that I would like to get into, but I don't have time to get into all of the ones. Jags start the season this weekend. The depth chart is announced. We'll probably do a Jags heavy Friday show. When we'll predict games going into the weekend. And you know what? I think I want to do a little pick 'em. So we'll start a college football pick 'em contest and see where we can go with that. We'll do the winners, and you can kind of go along with me if you want to join it. Make sure you let me know. Outside of that, man, I appreciate you guys coming through, chopping it up with me. Hey, the Noles are 2-0. That's all I got to say about that. See y'all later.